Good morning, class. I'm your science teacher for today, and today's research is all about cells.
Cells?
About cells. Part, structure, cycle, and division.
Oh no, that's a lot, teacher.
Don't worry, I'll make sure it's going to be fun. Do you have a pet in your home?
Yes, I have a lot. I have dogs, cats, fish, and even hamsters.
That's quite a lot. Do you know that those pets of yours are made out of cells?
Really?
Yes. As we all know, cells are the basic building blocks of all living things organisms. Cells join together to form a tissue. Tissues join together to make an organ. Organs can make the organ system, and organ system makes an organism. Just like us, and your pets are composed of trillions of cells. They provide structure for the body, take in nutrients from food, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. Cells also contain the body's heredity material and can make copies of themselves. Cells have many parts, also known as organelles. It has different functions, but for today we will be focusing on animal cells. It has some different parts and structures compared to plant cells. All animal cells are multicellular. They are eukaryotic cells. Animal cells are surrounded by plasma membrane, and it contains the nucleus and organelles that are membrane bound. Now, let's take a look at its parts and its function. Cell membrane. It forms the outer covering of the cell and is semi-permeable. The cytoplasm. It is a gel-like matrix where all the other cell organelles are suspended inside the cell. Nucleus. It contains the heredity material DNA and directs the activities of the cell. Centriole. It organizes the microtube assembly during cell division. Endoplasmic reticulum are a network of membranes composed of rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The Golgi complex. It is responsible for storing packaging of cellular products. Lysosomes are enzyme sacs that digest cellular waste. Microtubules are hollow rods function primarily as support and shape to the cell. Mitochondria, the site for cellular respiration and producers of energy. Ribosomes are made of RNA and proteins and are sites for protein synthesis. Nucleolus is the structure within the nucleus and helps in synthesis of ribosomes. Nucleophore is the tiny hole in the nuclear membrane, allows the movement of nucleic acids and proteins in and out of the cell.
Really? I want to learn more about animal cells.
That's the spirit. Don't worry. It's time to study about the animal cell cycle. The cell cycle can be thought of as the life cycle of a cell. In other words, it is the series of growth and the development steps a cell undergoes between its birth, formation by the division of a mother cell, and reproduction. Division to make two new daughter cells. In eukaryotic cells or cells with a nucleus, the stages of the cell cycle are divided into two major phases, interphase and the mitotic phase. During the interphase, the cell grows and makes a copy of its DNA. During the mitotic phase, the cell separates its DNA into two sets and divides its cytoplasm, forming two new cells. Let's discuss interphase and enter the cell cycle just as a cell forms. By division of its mother cell, interphase is also known the preparatory phase. The newborn cells prepare for the division, which happens in three steps. G1 phase. During G1, also called the first gap phase, the cell grows physically larger copies organelles and makes the molecular building blocks it will need in later steps. The S phase. In S phase, the cell synthesizes a complete copy of the DNA in its nucleus. It also duplicates a microtubule organizing structure called the centrosome. The centrosomes help separate DNA during M phase. The G2 phase. During the second gap phase, or G2 phase, the cell grows more, makes protein and organelles, and begins to recognize its contents in preparation for mitosis. G2 phase ends when mitosis begins. The G1, S, and G2 phases together are known as interphase. The prefix inter means between, reflecting that interphase takes place between one mitotic phase and the next. Now we're done discussing interphase. Let's move on now with M phase, or also known as mitotic phase.
Is the mitotic phase still part of the cell cycle?
Yes, however, the mitotic phase is where the dividing of cells starts to happen. During the mitotic phase, the cell divides its copied DNA and cytoplasm to make two new cells. M phase involves two distinct division-related processes, mitosis and cytokinesis. In mitosis, the nuclear DNA of the cell condenses into visible chromosomes and is pulled apart by the mitotic spindle, a specialized structure made out of microtubules. Mitosis takes place in four stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. In cytokinesis, the cytoplasm of the cell is split in two, making two new cells. Cytokinesis usually begins just as mitosis is ending, with a little overlap. Importantly, cytokinesis takes place differently in animal and plant cells.
Wow, it's really good to have a knowledge about the cells, especially my pet cells. Now I know how they live. Thank you, Teacher Ethan.
It's not a problem, Pocholo. I think we're just right in time. I have discussed animal cells. Tomorrow we'll talk about the plant cells, and let's find out their difference to each other.
I'm so excited. See you tomorrow, Teacher.
See you. Hope you learned something from today's lesson.